Oh, come on, you cunt. After a week of sailing the small boat, birds were seen circling overhead and the weather had cleared. A sign land was near. The weather had cleared. A sign land was near. On the 28th of May, Bligh navigated the launch into the safe waters of the Great Barrier Reef, off the northeast coast of Australia. Reef. Of the Great Barrier Reef, off the northeast coast of Australia, of the Great Barrier Reef. Safe waters of the Great Barrier Reef, off the northeast coast of Australia. The boat was then ran ashore on a small piece of land Bligh would name Restoration Island. The boat was then ran ashore on a small piece of land Bligh would name Restoration Island. The boat was then ran ashore on a small piece of land Bligh would name Restoration Island. Australia. The boat was off the northeast coast of Australia. The boat was then ran ashore on a small piece of land. Hi guys, how are we all doing? I am working on the edit for my latest YouTube video. So yeah, just hanging out. So if you've got any questions about history, fantasy, folklore, you know, D&D, LARP, cosplay, all those nerdy things, do make sure to throw it in the chat. Like I said, yeah, just working on the Mutiny of the Bounty video. So I've already got one up. That is already on my YouTube channel, but this is the second installment. So this is, well, the first one was from them setting off in England over to when the mutiny occurred. So this is the mutiny and everything that occurs afterwards. So if you're interested in that, you can hear me edit it. But yeah, just thought I'd jump on, hang out with some people, see who's around, and yeah, kill two birds with one stone with hanging out with you all here, as well as doing that. So thank you so much. Thank you, Line Man. I appreciate that. Yeah, cheers, my guy. I do need it cut though, but I appreciate that. I make a lot of like cosplay and like LARP content, so I prefer the hair longer because it just looks a little bit more in character. If you guys do enjoy any of my content, or if you're following, or if you're just enjoying this live, please do make sure to give the screen a double tap and give me a like. That'd be awesome, because then it just means this live goes out to more people, which is super helpful for me. Lewis, hello, how are you doing? Crazy Life, hello. Hi, Ted. Hair type, my favourite. Thank you so much. Hi, Lewis. Nice to meet you all. How are we all doing? Like I said, working on this Mutiny of the Bounty video. So just kind of like, well, obviously hanging out with you all on here and also doing this at the same time. But yeah, piece of luck. Thought I'd just, like I said, kill two birds with one stone. Hi, Stephen. Good to see you again. Bligh would name Restoration Island. Here the men fed themselves with the plentiful supply of oysters and berries they found, whilst restocking their provisions. Awesome. Awesome, good to know it, Lewis.
Elevating as the plentiful crop.
Lovely, so that's a good take. That is one of the very rare instances where I do it right and decently the first time.
Island.
Fantastic.
Name Restoration Island.
There's a toad and cover myself in wet sauce and cribs. What's the favourite grub you've ever eaten? Because I've eaten a grub before. Thank you, Lewis. I really appreciate that. What video am I working on? Thank you for asking, Stephen. So I already have one video of the mutiny of the Bounty, and that was everything from up to where they set off in the UK, all the way to basically the instance before the mutiny occurs. So this is this video, which is the second video, is the mutiny afterwards. But yeah, thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you for subscribing, Lewis. I appreciate that, and thank you, Stephen, for the question. Yeah, so basically, I've done the. Oh, thank you, Lewis. That's awesome. And I basically I did the voiceover last night, and now I'm going through it, cutting all the bits that I don't like, choosing the best takes out of certain parts that I've done, and then so basically once the audio's done. Beetle larvae, you crazy boy.
Here the men fed themselves with the plentiful
Mason, hello, how are you doing?
Supply of oysters and berries they found. Whilst restocking their provisions.
Oh, thank you for that.
Supply of oysters and berries they found. Whilst restocking.
Cool, so that can be a little bit of a smaller gap there, because you've got to keep the tempo up. That's the thing. Having gaps in the audio is good, because sometimes you need a beat or so. Poppy and Rosa, hello, how are you doing? Yeah, sometimes you need a bit of a beat or so for people to digest the information, but also simultaneously sometimes it's best to. It's me, Jason Carlos from Pink Uniform. It doesn't have you know. Genius comment. Thank you, Ramen Lover.
They found whilst restocking their provisions.
Hilarious. I need a bigger party than 20. Sorry, I just joined. No, it's quite all right, Poppy and Rosa. I don't know who's talking, but yeah. Basically, I'm working on my latest video, which is the Mutiny of the Bounty. So I've already made one video about it, and that is everything from the when they set off in the UK all the way to just before the mutiny occurs. And then now I've done basically I've done the voiceover, and now we're basically going through it, finding my best takes and slowly collating it all together to make something half interesting. Favourite fantasy creatures? Very good question. What do I like? Been doing loads of different videos about it. I want to pick something actually philosophical. Let me think about this for a second. You know what? It seems a bit really boring, but I actually really like dragons because they are unbelievably mythical. There's a reason why folkloric creatures and like mythological creatures, why they become. Wendigo is an awesome one, very, very good. Vaguely related to the werewolf of Wendigo. They're very, very similar in a lot of implications. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate you spamming hearts for me, my friend. Good answer. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. I mean, I know it's a bit of a cop-out because, like, dragon, like, that's not particularly original, is it? But I think they're so incredible as a mythological creature, and obviously they're so like grand, aren't they? And it's like it is the ultimate foe. Like when we have who is it? When we have like historical lore about these creatures, like it's always an epic battle. So I think it's the of mythological creatures, it's certainly the most interesting. Lewis, you're a cool dude. I'm subscribing now. Thank you so much, Raven Lover. I appreciate that. You know what? I like dragons too. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate that.
As
Dragon D's.
elevating as the plentiful crop was, the gorging swiftly made the crew ill with stomach their provisions.
That needs a bit of a beat just to hide,
As elevating as the plentiful crop was, the gorging swiftly made the crew ill with stomach pains and diarrhea.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. No, I really appreciate it. It's nice when I can come on and try and do a bit of editing whilst chat to people because, yeah, I mean, I love chatting to people that are obviously kind of like part of the community already. But if it means I can meet new people and they can see my stuff, that would be absolutely awesome as well. So yeah, cheers for the subscription, guys, and cheers for the likes. Really, really appreciate it. So it's a great way to help the channel grow and get me on my way to monetization, which is, you know, it's not the main goal. Like I'd like to have a community here. No problem, Lewis. Thanks for hanging out regardless, my friend. But monetization would be cool as well because it'd mean I'd be able to do more stuff for you guys.
Whilst overhauling the boat with stomach pains and diarrhea.
Needs a bit of a space to breathe.
Whilst overhauling the boat there.
See you, Lewis. Thank you so much. Hang out soon, my guy.
Damage from the turbulent stern currents. Whilst overhauling the boat there, they discovered the rudder had taken substantial damage from the turbulent stern currents. By sheer luck, the rudder hadn't broke, but if it had, by sheer luck the rudder hadn't broke. Stern currents.
It's a big show. Hello, Cyclops Star Soul Magician. What a username. How you doing? I'm working on my latest Mutiny of the Bounty video. So I already have one video up, and this is the second one, which is basically the mutiny occurring and everything that follows after that.
The stern currents. By sheer luck, the rudder hadn't broke, but if it had, the boat would have been surely swamped by the churning sea before a stern oar could be fixed.
That'll do. Lovely stuff. Let's smash it out, ladies and gents. That's good, that's good. Cut these little bits out. Sick. Delete that. See you later. Where am I from? I am from the north of England. A little place called Yorkshire. Whereabouts are you from, Cyclops?
The boat would have been surely swamped by stern currents. By sheer luck, the rudder hadn't broke, but if it had, the boat would have been surely swamped by the churning sea before a stern oar could be fixed.
Yes, I am British for my sins. That's why I've got this ridiculous accent.
Would have been surely swamped by the churning sea before a stern oar could be swamped by the churning sea.
That's great. That can go there.
Substantial damage from the turbulent stern currents. By sheer luck, the rudder.
Never been. Wow. I mean, we've got an absolutely terrible government, but that is just, you know, I think we can all appreciate that wherever we're from. But the culture's great. I do love England so much, or like the UK in general. It is absolutely beautiful. So there's like, I mean, I'm not going to go on a monologue here, but basically it's quite rainy. Yeah, because it rains quite a lot, it means that everything is so luscious. We're an island, so obviously we get a lot of water. But yeah, it's the most, like, British summertime is arguably the best place, or the best like environment to be, because we do get some lovely summers. It's not too hot. It's quite humid, but everything at the same time is just so green and luscious. It's absolutely incredible. It's almost like a rainforest or something like that. It's really, really lovely. And then we've got an amazing culture in general. So there's like our pub culture, so like going out and drinking and stuff like that is great. So you know, there's lots of places basically where you can go out and enjoy yourself when it is gorgeous sun, but we do only get that for like a quarter of the year or something like that. But yes, very do much enjoy living in England. I live in the north of England, but my family is mainly in the south, and that is even hotter and even nicer. Like they live in Cornwall, which is just they call it the English Riviera. So like you have the Spanish or the French Riviera, where it's just absolutely gorgeous, blazing sun, and everybody loves going out on their boats and stuff like that. It's like Florida. There we go. It's like Florida, except less guns.
Stern currents. By sheer luck, the rudder hadn't broke, but if it had, the boat would have been surely swamped by the churning sea before a stern oar could be affixed.
Give it a bit of a break here. But yes, would definitely recommend. And we've got a load of awesome historic buildings and locations and things like that as well. So most decent sized towns have a castle, or like the ruin of a castle, I should say. And that's just incredible to walk around. And yeah, maybe, I don't know. But yes, what am I working on, Cyclops? Sorry, I meant to respond to you there. I am working on my latest YouTube video. So I have made a video about the Mutiny of the Bounty, which is a very famous historical mutiny in the 1700s. So I have already made the video that goes from when they left England to just before the mutiny occurs. That's already on my YouTube channel. But then I have the video I'm working on now is them from the moment the mutiny occurs and everything that happens after that. So the wild, crazy ride, because basically the captain and a load of his crew got abandoned in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and they had to sail on a 23-foot boat back to civilization. So about 4,000 nautical miles on a boat that is probably not too much longer than this room, and there were 18 of them on it. If you're interested in that kind of thing, obviously I've got this video out, so do go check that out, please. But there's another one that you should be able to find. There's a series called Mutiny, and it's by a British television station, and basically they get an ex-special forces officer and then a load of other random people, and they have to survive on the boat and try and do the same way back. So I'd really recommend that series. I think that's on YouTube as well, so that's really good. But I'd also obviously recommend my video as well. So if you want to check those out, it's such an interesting story, and the series Channel 4 made is just so interesting. It's very well done.
Sick. There we go.
The interesting thing about the remake, the Channel 4 show that they made, is that it shows that obviously humanity has not changed at all in 300-400 years since it occurred, because people still deteriorate at the same rate. They still get frustrated and angry and irritable at the same period of time when they haven't eaten. So you see these people doing the exact same thing that is recorded them doing 400 years ago, simply because humans are still exactly the same creature. The only difference is we've got satellite navigation, and we have synthetic plastic fabrics and things like that. But the person is the same. We still we still have X amount of days until we get irritable when we haven't had water and things like that. So I'd really recommend watching that series called Mutiny by Channel 4. But like I said, you'll be able to find that on YouTube. I heard of Sepoy Mutiny. I haven't, but you know what? I will definitely jot that down. Interesting. In India, against the British East Indian Company, which is just a surreal and it's such a weird thing that a business like that became essentially a company, became a country even. Sepoy Mutiny. I will definitely look into this, because this might be within my wheelhouse of things I can do, things I can look into. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you for putting me onto that, Cyclops.
Getting there, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 paragraphs left. We're nearly done. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. The boat would have been surely swamped by the churning sea before a stern...
Darth Plagueis the Wise. It's an archaic story, is it not? One the Jedi would not wish me to know. Yeah, I do love some Star Wars. I've made one video on my TikTok channel about Star Wars, about it was for the what's it called again? Sorry, not the Mandalorian. Ahsoka, the Ahsoka series with the incredible masks and armor that I'm pushing my mind here for what is his name again? Admiral Thrawn's people, Admiral Thrawn's military. So there's a I haven't thought about this age, so I'm pulling it from the back of my mind. But the way they have fixed their armor using gold filigree, that is a Japanese inspired Japanese inspired way of fixing things. And then the face shield of Commander something or other, I can't remember. You know, the what's his name? Yeah, Thrawn's number 2, the guy with the interesting face, the interesting helmet, should I say? That is a very similar copy of a Roman cavalry helmet. So it's fascinating, and that's the reason why Star Wars is brilliant, is because they have created this incredible world by combining Eastern history and Western history, and that's why it's as fascinating as it is, because it looks so real and so lived in, yet it's obviously an imagined world. I'm not a historian, but I'd certainly like to be sooner or later. I haven't got any formal training. I went to uni to do television and radio production, but I would, let's put it this way, if I get a few more thousand followers on YouTube and TikTok, I might be able to call myself one sooner or later, but not at the moment. I've got to work harder for that, I think. Give it a couple of years. But thank you so much. And thanks for the questions, guys. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. As always, I enjoy doing this because it makes this whole thing of me doing editing a lot easier, instead of me kind of just staring at the screen for hours on end.
After 2 days' rest, they once again made way.
Easy. And it breaks it up for me as well.
Be affixed. After could be affixed.
Sick.
After 2 days' rest, they once again made way. Beginning to island hop on the inside of the lagoon. When they noticed they were being...
Sick.
Once again made way. Once again made way. Beginning to island and made way. 2 days' rest, they once again made way. Beginning to island hop on the inside of the lagoon.
So watched from the shoreline. Terrifying stuff. Acolyte series. I have seen a couple of episodes. I think for the fact that I haven't watched it, I think that speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? It's really difficult, and especially in the world of social media now, things get ruined so quickly. I definitely feel that people saying it's rubbish has made me less inclined to watch it. But at the same time, I think the frustrating thing, and you have this with most series and stuff like that, like this is the reason why the last series of Game of Thrones was so rubbish. It's because, you know, there are literally millions of people that are unbelievably interested and find this kind of, find Star Wars or any other kind of, universe, cinematic universe. They love it so much. They're passionate about it. But for whatever reason, those people aren't picked to run the show for some reason or other, it's just whatever director is, you know, kind of popular at the time. And it's there's a really good example. So in the Mandalorian, well, for instance, with that, the guy that wrote that is a massive Star Wars fan, so it works. Fantastic. Well, you know what, Stephen, with that, I will definitely be giving it a watch. Thank you so much for you know, inspiring me to do that. I appreciate it. But yeah, like I was saying, yeah, and also the, you know, the there's the Asian X-Wing pilot. I can't remember his name in the series, but you know who I mean. He pops in and out occasionally. So he is a massive Star Wars fan, and he showed up to the audition for that role in his own X-Wing gear. And it's just like, hi Boris, I have noticed you, sorry. But yeah, basically, this guy showed up to the audition in his own X-Wing gear. And it's like, obviously give that guy the part. Like, okay, if he wasn't the best actor, then maybe not. But like, if he's a decent actor and he can, and he's obviously passionate about the role, do that. Like, why are we giving roles to people that are, or sorry, why are we putting people in charge of incredible franchises when they are only interested in it for a monetary relationship, you know? And that's why The Mandalorian was awesome, because the person that was showrunning it understood what Star Wars was about, that it was a marriage of Eastern and Western history and philosophy and culture, you know. That's why. Got me monologuing.
Inside of the lagoon. When they noticed they were out of the lagoon. When they know. Inside.
But yeah, hi Boris, how are you doing? Lovely to see you in the chat, my friend. I needed to go live because I was hoping you'd arrive.
When they noticed they were being watched inside of the lagoon. When they noticed they were being watched by Aboriginals from the mainland.
Great to hear that, my friend. Don't want to keep repeating myself to people that are in the chat. But I am working on my latest YouTube video, so this is the second part of my Mutiny on the Bounty series. If you haven't seen the first yet, it's literally on my YouTube channel, so you can go have a look at it. No worries, man. I mean, it's just lovely to, like I say, hang out and chat and do this kind of thing whilst I'm editing. So don't feel obligated to stay on. You've probably got much more interesting and important things you can do than listen to me. You know, faff on about Star Wars or my latest YouTube video, but there we go.
Mainland.
Let's see what's going on here.
This is when the second mutiny. This is when the second mutiny in.
This is, yeah, you hear me repeating myself a lot.
This is when the second mutiny. This is when the second mutiny in a month nearly occurred for Bly.
Sick. So I don't know how much experience you guys have with editing videos or anything else like that, but so much of this is just me going along and yeah, cutting out all the sentences I can't say, which is weird. I can't say them because I wrote them.
This is when the second mutiny in a month nearly occurred for Bly. A heated argument started between him and the carpenter Purcell. A similar incident that
BYOB. Yes, I do remember that. It's a great song. Great song.
Occurred for Bly. A heated argument started.
This needs to have a little bit of breathing room on it. That's all good.
In a month nearly occurred for Bly. A heated argument started between him and the carpenter Purcell. A similar incident that had happened once before in Tasmania. Go away. Argument started between him and the carpenter Purcell.
There we go.
Incident that had occurred once before on Tasmania. A similar incident that had occurred once before on Tasmania.
There we go. Lovely. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Purcell.
Can I play guitar? No, I can't. I used to play drums, Never been that musically proficient. I mean, like I say, actually, no, I did pretty well with drums. I was in a band and we did pretty well. That was like over a decade or so ago. But yeah, so very much enjoyed my time doing that. But yeah, like I said, I liked playing drums, but I'm not that musically inclined. So I have attempted to play guitar and a load of other stuff previously, but I struggle with learning music, like like sheet music or tabs or something like that. That's why drums was easy, because all I did was just hit it. How many swords do I have? Very good question. I've got 3. I have a European sword, like a classic kind of. People call it a long sword. It's not a long sword. Just like a standard medieval sword. Then I've got a saber that I use for. I mean, if you've seen any of my TikToks, you might have seen me with them. And then also I've got a LARP sword back there, but I don't think I can even use that because I don't think it's even LARP compliant, which is annoying. Stupidly, for my first LARP, I bought that sword and I bought some arrows. I don't think either of them are compliant because the head on the arrows are rounded and they need to be flat. Anyway, but yes, would like to get some more LARP stuff sooner or later.
This time though, the disagreement elevated to physical threats as.
Oh.
The disagreement elevated.
Lovely. Here. What's that?
This time, though, the disagreement elevated to physical threats as Bly.
Oh no, it's all right. All right. I'm 33.
This time, though, the disagreement elevated to physical threats as Bly grabbed a cutlass, threw one to Purcell, and challenged him to a fight.
Great stuff. Use a sword with both hands. So I do HEMA, which is historical European martial arts. So basically, I get to go to a class every single week, where I can get taught how to do stuff. So I've done a lot of fencing as well, but I mean, do you know how to use a sword with both hands? Sounds like a euphemism. I'm not sure if you're trying to be cheeky doing that, but yeah, I've done a lot of English longsword and fencing and stuff like that, really. So how'd you come to the great name Grey Wolf? So Stephen, long story short, when I first made this channel, I was living with a friend and he has a wolf dog. And my idea was at first, it was like, oh, if I get some footage of the wolf dog, then I can use that as like my intro or something like that. So I just chose Grey Wolf randomly because I was like, oh, he's a wolf dog and he's grey. So I was like, if I do that, then I can, like I said, use some footage of this wolf dog, and like it can be the intro for my stuff. And then never ended up doing that. And then I've moved out of that house anyway, so I barely see the dog or my friend anymore anyway. So it's weird. It just happened. And it's bad because there are like Grey Wolf specifically is I think was the it was the code name for Hitler. It was like, you know, like when the US presidents have their own code names, like what the Secret Service do. That Grey Wolf was like Hitler's code name. So I've chosen a really, really bad name to name my channel. But I'm in for a penny, in for a pound now. So I was like, whatever, I'm just going to do that. And also it kind of, the idea of Grey Wolf adventuring, because I want to make more D&D and like LARP and cosplay content. And the idea of that is, like Grey Wolf Adventuring was supposed to be, it sounds like a fictional adventuring guild. So the kind of thing that, you know, you'd join as a adventurer. Sword collection, very, very interesting. Which sword? I mean, I'll quickly. I'll get. Okay. I'll disappear for like 1 minute. I'll go get my sword. I'll show you. I'm back. Here we go. This is my favourite. So I need to actually give it a bit of a clean up. But I absolutely love this. It hasn't got a name. So I need to, I was going to do a poll or do something where the channel can choose the name of the sword, because it hasn't got a name yet. But it's absolutely awesome. Hell of a piece of kit. But it does need to a bit of a tidied up. Get rid of some of the rust marks on it. But I absolutely love it. Wolf's Fang. Nice, I like that. That's quite good actually, yeah. Cool. I will remember that one, Stephen. Oblivion Sender is that works as well, Boris. I like that. Like I said, we'll do a live or we'll do a poll, and we'll decide the name of the sword, because a sword needs a name, and I haven't named it, and I've had it for quite a long time now. But it definitely needs something. So thank you guys for the questions, and thank you for the comment on the chair. I do like it. I've got this lovely little office space that I've managed to bring together. This was the box room in my house, and I felt quite guilty. I don't know if it's like a neurodivergent thing or just me being weird, but I attribute I attribute emotions to inanimate objects. So if I don't use something for a while, I feel guilty because I feel like it might be lonely or left behind or something. So like yesterday, I played on the PlayStation for the first time in absolutely ages, and I was like, I feel good about this because I'm in my living room and I don't. Yeah, thank you. So I feel So I barely use my living room because I'm always in here editing. When I used to spend all my time in my living room when I only had my laptop, and so now I don't use the living room half as much as I used to. I'm still looking at arrow types of weapons. Nice. I've got I'll show you my bow. This, to be quite honest with you, is actually no, it's not true. I enjoy this, and I enjoyed bringing it to the LARP, because I will tell you what, the most enjoyable thing ever is having this and just getting somebody square in the chest with an arrow. It was so enjoyable. So yeah, I've really, really enjoyed having this bow. It was a lot of fun to, like I said, smash around with and just get some people with when I was at the LARP. Which, coincidentally, I also have a video for, would you believe it? So if you want to hear more about my experience at my very first LARP, you know where to head. I played Skyrim. Yes, I have played Skyrim and Oblivion. I used to play it a fairly decent amount. Haven't in a while. I would like to make more video game content. So maybe play some historical video games like Bannerlords or Manor or Age of Empires or something like that. Would like to do that, but I need a laptop. Well, I need a computer that would be able to handle it. I don't have at the moment. How are we getting on? Lovely. But yes. Oh, thank you for the heart. That's lovely. But yeah, Stephen, do you play many video games? What's your kind of go-to video games at the moment? Because there are quite a few that I'd like to play, and some that are historical. So, what was it? There's a really, really cool World War II video game that I've seen. Squad, is it Squad? I don't know. Anyway, I think as long as they're like vaguely historical, then they work in like in my Venn diagram of stuff that I do. I don't think it would be very in keeping with the aesthetic of my channel if I started doing like Crash Bandicoot or Sonic, you know what I mean? I think it has to have some vague connection back to history with what I do. History or fantasy, should I say. So, for instance, Baldur's Gate, perfect. Perfect example of what I need to do. Yeah, well, you know, like I said, that historical, you know, it's inspired, isn't it, by our heroic age. So, I mean, I could definitely see myself playing that, and I would like to have a go at it.
The tension was elevated. The cell and challenged him to a fight.
Lovely.
The tension was elevated even more.
Which PlayStation have you played? So I only have a PS4 at the moment. So what games have I got? I've played a lot of Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5. Really enjoyed them. What else? I bought Last of Us, but I haven't played much of that. And then I've been playing... I played a bit of Call of Duty Cold War last night on the live. If you're on TikTok, you would have seen that. That was pretty good. I really enjoyed Cold War, Call of Duty Cold War, because I prefer like the campaigns. I don't really enjoy playing online against people. I prefer the narrative elements instead. But that's just, you know, what I'm like. Probably because I'm not very good at video games.
Commanded Bligh to be arrested. The tension was elevated even more when Fryer commanded Bligh to be arrested. The tension elevated even more so when Fryer commanded for Bligh to be arrested. Commanded Bligh to be arrested. Even more when Fryer commanded Bligh to be arrested. The tension elevated even more so when Fryer commanded for Bligh to be arrested, which Bligh responded by saying he would kill Fryer if he intervened.
Awesome.
Challenged him to a fight. The tension elevated even more so when Fryer commanded for Bligh to be arrested.
Lovely.
Which Bligh responded by saying he would kill Fryer if he intervened.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Definitely organise that sooner or later, Boris. I have to re-download it onto my PlayStation. Favourite band song? So I generally, I listen to loads of different stuff, to be honest with you guys. So I enjoy a lot of hip hop. Favourite artist really probably at the moment is Baby No Money. I like that kind of thing. Young Gravy as well. And then I like kind of more, say, traditional hip hop. Yeah, System of a Down. There we go. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I like folk music. I like some pop. The only real music that I really listen to is like metal or stuff like that. Just can't really get into it. Never been my cup of tea.
By saying he would kill Fryer if he intervened.
Lovely.
There we go, fantastic. Next paragraph.
Nearly there.
The Bounty's mutinous crew arrived back on Tahiti on the 6th of June. The Bounty's mutinous crew arrived back at Tahiti on the 6th of June. This is when Christian...
Oh, thank you, Zenith. That is so kind of you to say. I really appreciate it, genuinely. It's really weird. Can't believe I've got to 1,000 subscribers. It feels only yesterday I was at 200. But yeah, like I said, obviously, you know, that's come from a lot of work. Yeah, obviously that's come from a lot of work, and putting, you know, producing videos. 80s guy, but thank you. Yeah, I mean, I like 80s music too. Oblivion Man time. But yeah, I just, well, what I wanted to say is thank you so much for subscribing and just being a part of this community. And you know, it seems so superficial just to be able to like, or like it feels like doing nothing, just giving a like, but that's like really helps my channel grow. And people that are in the chat, I mean, like Boris, for instance, yeah, and use Zenith as well. You know, I do. You know, I'm very, very grateful for all the help and support you've given. And if just giving your time just to be able to watch a few videos of mine and occasionally give me a like if you enjoy it, because it's it's absolutely incredible that I've got to 1,000 subscribers. So I really appreciate it, because I couldn't have done it without people like you lot helping me along. So thank you so much. Definitely very lucky to have some people support me. So I really appreciate that, genuinely, really do. It's been awesome to get to that mark. I'm the kind of person as well that is, I'm a bit of a never good enough kind of thing, but having like getting to that 1,000 subscribers mark has been really wild. And just, if anything, I'm more motivated than I ever have been, because I feel obligated. Not that you guys would notice if I posted or didn't post, I'm sure, but like being able to come on lives and do stuff like this, and also be able to put out more and more content, it's just, you know, it feeds the beast, and it's something that I'm really excited to do. Because like I said, it's all very well, I can make as much content as I want, but if you guys don't enjoy it, then not a lot happens, does it?
If he intervened. The Bounty's mutinous crew arrived back at Tahiti on the 6th of June. This is when Christian married his partner. He intervened. The Bounty...
A bit of a breather there.
If he intervened. The Bounty's mutinous crew arrived...
It's alright, Boris, I appreciate it. And like I said, you know, like you go to the effort to comment on my stuff and give likes and interact with the kind of content I make. So not a lot would be happening if it was just me throwing stuff out into the universe. It's you lot that have helped me slowly grow this channel. So if anything, you own it more than I do, you know what I mean?
Back at Tahiti on the 6th of June. This is when the Bounty's mutinous crew arrived back at Tahiti on the 6th of June. This is when Christian...
What's good? Hello, how you doing? Yeah, I'm working on my latest YouTube video, so I'm just going through the voiceover that I recorded yesterday. And yeah, making my way through that. So how are we all doing?
Arrived back at Tahiti on the 6th of June. This is when Christian married his partner, Matarua, or Elizabeth. This is when Christian married his partner, Maratua, or Isabella, or Elizabeth. Or Isabella.
That'll do. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. It's funny because I literally put Tahiti in that title because I assumed more people would be interested in it, because of obviously it being a bit of a meme with the whole Red Dead Redemption stuff.
Or Elizabeth, or Isabella, married his partner, Matarua. Married his partner, Matarua, or Isabella, who he had spent many months with whilst waiting for the breadfruit crop. Who he had spent many months with whilst waiting for the breadfruit crop to cultivate.
There we go.
Or Isabella, who he had spent many months with whilst waiting for the breadfruit crop to cultivate.
Lovely.
Crop to cultivate. Whilst procuring workers and supplies, whilst procuring workers and supplies, Christian concocted a lie, saying that he.
So funny.
Whilst procuring workers and supplies.
Protect the land. I'll give that a listen.
Whilst procuring workers and supplies.
Lovely. Nearly there. I might hang out, guys, for another 10 minutes, and then once I've done an hour on here, I think I might go and make some food because I need dinner sooner or later.
Breadfruit crop to cultivate. Whilst procuring workers and supplies.
It needs to just be a little bit tighter, doesn't it, that?
Whilst procuring workers and supply.
No, it's all right, don't worry. Like I said, I'm just focusing on this at the moment, but I'll definitely give it a listen when I'm done.
8. Whilst procuring workers and supplies.
There we go, lovely.
Workers and supplies. Christian concocted a lie, saying that he. Christian concocted a lie, saying that he, Bligh, and Cook had founded a settlement on Itataki.
Nice. Hi, yeah, so I am working on my latest YouTube video. This is me just editing the voiceover, but thought I'd hang out whilst I do it, because why not kill two birds with one stone and see what everybody else is up to. So yeah, this is the second instalment of my Mutiny of the Bounty series, if you've heard of that. So I've already got my first part of it is up on the on my YouTube channel, and this is the second, which is basically, well, the first one is everything from England all the way to just before the mutiny occurs, and then the second is, and then this part is the second the mutiny occurs and everything that happens after it, basically. Favourite Lord of the Rings character? Aragorn. I do like Aragorn. He appeals to a lot of my senses. I always seem to play like paladins and like martial classes in D&D because I like the idea of being like that, like virtuous knight. I like that idea. I do like Aragorn. I'm trying to think of it. Is there any other characters that I really, really enjoy from it? I like Boromir. I think it's cool that he is flawed and that he succumbs to the ring's temptation. I like that. Lord of the Rings in general is just an incredible book, isn't it? Or series of books. Just it's a real incredible mythic tale.
Christian concocted a lie.
Yes, definitely. We should do a watch party sooner or later. That'd be dope.
Workers and supplies. Christian concocted a lie, saying that he, Bligh, and Cook workers and supplies. Christian concocted a lie. Whilst procuring workers and supplies, Christian concocted a lie, saying that he, Bligh, and Cook.
Bilbo Baggins or... Okay, who's in the chat? Look, there's only 4 of you here, so I'll be very surprised if there was another Bulgarian.
Settlement on AIT. Christian concocted a lie, saying that he, Bligh, and Cook in the Cook Islands, and Cook had founded a settlement on Itataki.
Sick. Nope, American. There we go.
He, Bligh, and Cook and Cook had founded a settlement on Aitutaki. Cook had...
We're a real international group, aren't we? Yeah, Middlesbrough very close to where I am.
Christian concocted a lie, saying that he, Bly, and Cook had founded a settlement on Aitutaki. Cook had founded a settlement on Cook had founded a settlement on Aitutaki.
Lovely. Nearly there. Smashing it out, gentlemen. Thank you so much for the help and keep me through this.
Founded a settlement.
Because to be honest, now I'm thinking about it, the worst thing I do is when I'm not on this, I go on my phone. So I'm probably spending just as much time doing this as I would without it. But yeah. Thank you for the support, and it's good to hang out whilst we do it anyway.
Had founded a settlement on...
Get rid of that one.
In the Cook Islands. Had founded a settlement on Aitutaki. In the Cook Islands, despite Cook being dead for over a decade at this point.
Great. Nearly there, gents.
On Aitutaki, in the Cook Islands, despite Cook being...
There we go, and there we go. Lovely. Killing it. Oblivion Walker. I do like... Interesting.
This lie was...
We'll have to... How are we going to do it? We've got a few ideas. I think... well, what I'll do... How about this? Okay, got an idea now. Yeah. I will do a live where I am doing some care and maintenance on the sword. Because it needs to be cared for. It's quite rusty in some parts. So I'll do that. We'll do a live where where I tend to it a little bit, and then we can we'll think of some names then, and then we can, after that, we'll make a poll of what the name of the sword should be. Live stutter, maybe it did, I don't know.
This lie was more than likely concocted despite Cook being dead for over a decade at this point. This lie was more than likely concocted. This lie was more than likely concocted to ensure a peaceful relationship between Christian and Pomer, implying that civilization and reinforcement.
Lovely. From the edit, yeah, maybe. Maybe it's just me stuttering. It's confusing, you're hearing two of me.
This lie was more than likely concocted.
Nearly there. Fantastic.
For a decade at this point.
Great. Have to go. No worries. What sword have I got? This is just it's just a sword. It's a medieval crusader sword. Yeah. Not really a lot I can say about it. There's nothing particular, but it's something I've had for a while for cosplay stuff. And it's awesome, but it hasn't got a name, so we're going to name it sooner or later, because I've had it for absolutely ages and it hasn't been named, and swords need names. See you later. Okay, hit one of your live videos. Oh, it's all good. No, don't worry. I'll definitely remember that. I like that name as well. It's definitely, yeah, definitely the top choices. Yeah, no worries, Boris. See you soon. Thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate your time, my guy.
This lie was more than likely concocted to ensure people at this point. This lie was more than likely concocted to ensure peaceful concocted to ensure
That's just a little bit too much now. There we go. Great stuff.
To ensure a peaceful relationship between Christian and Pomer.
Great. Delete that. That goes there.
Concocted to ensure a peaceful relationship between Christian and Pomer.
Right, lovely. Okay, we have been on live for more than an hour now, so I am going to go and have my dinner. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. I really, really do appreciate it. It's been lovely to chat, to be quite honest with you. And I've managed to get some decent work done, so great work. Awesome stuff with the sword as well. We will definitely have that conversation very, very soon. But in the meantime, have a lovely rest of your evening. And I will see you all soon. Excalibur, there we go. Another name for the sword.